Oh yeah!
No. After you do your to-do list.
Honey, no. It's dime time. Hey everybody, it's Rob with RobFindsTreasure, and that's right, we've got one box of dimes to hunt today, and as always, if I don't have enough finds, I'll marry this hunt with another dime hunt. That being said, we did score a couple of silver dimes in my last set of dime hunts, and a lot of 09s, which was odd for me. So, I'm optimistic that maybe we'll have some goodies in here, but when I popped the top on this box, I did notice while there is circulated dimes, there is a whole bunch of uncirculated Enders 2020. So it's very possible that this is a start of a uncirculated type box, and I could have a ton of 2020s in here. So if we get silver, it'll be a miracle, but I can't leave these like they are since there are about 50% circulated Enders and 50% uncirculated Enders. We'll have to see how this hunt goes. It is only the first box of the hunt, and again, if I do have enough finds, we'll make it a video. That being said, we're gonna get right into it and we're gonna start cracking rolls. As a reminder, I'll be using my Clyde Coinage Varieties mat and my scope, and if you'd like links to either of those, I'll have them down below in the video description, or I'll put a link up there. I use my scope to check for any of the dime varieties on my screen because I can get really up close and personal with them. All right, enough talk. Time to hunt dimes. Well, I have to laugh because we're on roll number 1 and we are the 1, 2, 3rd coin in, and it's a 2009 Denver. I don't know why I'm finding so many 2009s lately. We used to never find them, but I'll take them. All right, it's early. Don't want to get excited, but it's good seeing a find in the first roll. Just a quick update, we're on roll number 3 and we have not found a 2020 dime yet, but this is an entire roll. So definitely going to be an odd box. I won't show you all the 2020 rolls, but I will take a look to see if we have any possible blank planchets, brockages, cap die strikes, things like that, but we'll see. Either way, we'll bring you in on the next find. We're on roll 16, which is right here, and I'll show it in a second. Out of the 16 rolls, 5 have been uncirculated dimes. But I bring you in because I'm thinking we got a silver dime right here. $1960 Denver. Silver dime in the box with an 09, despite 1/3 of the roll so far not being able to be hunted properly. Well, we finished that dime box. We ended up with 22 uncirculated rolls, so the law of averages definitely hurt. We got that 09 in the very first roll, and not too many rolls later, I think roll 16, we've got that 1960 Denver minted silver dime, and I was pretty optimistic despite the number of uncirculated Enders I saw, but the law of averages, like I said, did catch up to us. We didn't get any other finds. I did pull out a couple of dimes here that I figured I would include in this video so that you guys can know what I look for as well. I just don't show them very often. In 1969 on Philadelphia and 1970 on both Philly and Denver mints, they did make a mistake by using a proof coin reverse on those years, and some of those got away from the mint. Now, I don't look at these too often because 9 times out of 10, they're in terrible shape. But this is a 1970 Denver, and I'll put it under the scope for you guys. And if you look at the flame, you can see there's no detail. Basically, it's just round here. There's no flame lines within here. All the flames are encompassed on the outside. When they did the proof reverses, and I'll grab this other 1970D and put it under the scope, you can see here clearly that there's additional flame lines, more detail on the flame. That is what's known as a proof reverse 1970 Denver. It is a recognized error, and it is one that you should look for, but again, in this condition, it's not really gonna fetch any additional value. So I do look for these, and I just wanted to point out the difference so you know what you're looking for on the mat. But Unless I see a 1970D in great shape, which is about one per box, and when I say great, I mean maybe AU, I don't really look for them. And even the ones I look at under the scope that are in pretty decent shape are never the proof reverse, it seems. Anyway, I just wanted to include that as part of this hunt so that you get some information. But we did find silver and an 09 and a 1970D proof reverse, not in great shape, but I'll take it. I think because we only had half a box basically to hunt, we'll wait until we get more boxes and we'll add that to this video. I'll be back when I have another dime box. Well, I'm back and I've got another dime box. I already checked. It is circulated. There are some fresher ends, but definitely a circulated dime box. So let's see how many rolls are 2020s in this one, or if we can add to the already 09 silver dime and 70 proof reverse minted in Denver. Let's get the hunt on. Roll 19 of box 2, and I'll say at the start that we're definitely finding a lot of 2020s. Probably a fourth, maybe a third of the rolls are 2020s. So definitely not going to be a full box hunt, if you will, but close enough. I bring in because we did find another 2009 dime. This one minted in Denver. We're halfway through the box, 25 rolls hunted. I found a few more pretty bad shape 1970 Denver proof reverse strike dimes and a pretty nice 1976 Philadelphia dime. I'll check it against my album. I bring in because I'm gonna probably set up the time lapse now in case we can catch something live. 25 rolls. Obviously I'll speed it up and stop if we find anything, but let me set this up and we'll do a time lapse hunt to see if any goodies can be caught live. So I spent a little extra time on this 1967. I'll put it back under the scope. It's not the DDO, but look at that machine doubling. Pretty heavy on the R, the E, the B, and the I. It almost looks like there would be split serifs, but I think it's just the way that it was machine doubled and some damage. I checked it for the date. It's kind of a greaser and a little distorted, which is why I spent more time. But I don't see doubled die. I just see some distortion and a little bit of machine doubling, albeit a little nicer than what you'd normally see, which is why I took some time on it. I'll put it aside as a conversation piece, and it's in decent shape, to be honest, which is why I definitely wanted to spend a little more time on it. Either way, we'll get back to the time lapse. Just found another 2009, minted in Denver. Well, unfortunately, the time lapse didn't prove lucky. I was hoping we'd find something. We didn't. At the end of the day, we are going to score for the 2-box hunt a 2009 Denver, 2009 Denver, 2009 Denver, and of course, can never get mad at finding a little bit of silver, a 1960 Denver. As far as the side finds, we did end up with 3 1970 Denver proof reverses. Again, in this condition, probably not worth keeping. I'll likely pick out the best of the 3 and just keep it and compare it to the ones I do have in my collection to see if it's better than any of those, which I doubt. We had that pretty cool 1967 machine double top verse. I'll hold on to it. It's in decent shape. And a 76P to check against the Collection to see if it upgrades. I know it wasn't a dime time full of finds, but it was still a fun dime time for me because we did score some more silver. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and the hunt. If you did, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And as always, everyone, happy hunting. And thanks for watching. It won't make a big splash in the 2020 silver jar, but it is more silver for the 2020 silver jar.